Hey, did you know Hyplet Store makes the coolest merchandise just for you? Place your order today as everything is 50% off and get completely free shipping no matter where you are. HypletStore.com, there's a bit of everything for everyone. I'd like to ask you to give this video a thumbs up if you're a fan of Shark Tank and join that notification squad by hitting the subscribe button. Also comment down below when you do so and we'll do our best to reply to as many of you as we possibly can. The celebrity investors of Shark Tank have helped many aspiring entrepreneurs turn their ideas into successful businesses over the last 9 years since the reality pitch show first aired on ABC. However, once in a while even the experienced sharks make a bad call and invest in businesses that turn out to be big disappointments. From hidden ingredients to false claims, here are 10 Shark Tank deals that lost big bucks. After David Mealy lost his job due to tough economy, he decided to take the opportunity to turn his passion for cooking into a career. He and his wife Dominique started a barbecue catering company called Back Nine BBQ, and when people kept telling them how much they liked their chicken dips, they decided to jump into the Shark Tank to ask for an investment to produce them in masses. The couple were seeking $150,000 in exchange for 50% of their business, but the celebrity investors were rather skeptical about the fact that the dips contained blended chicken. Only Lori really enjoyed the product, but decided to drop out on account of the fact that she didn't really feel like she was the right person to help them get their dips into supermarkets. Mark and Robert went out for similar reasons, while Kevin simply thought an investment would be too risky as their business was still in the very startup phase. Damon was still hesitant at that point, but eventually went out too, which prompted Lori and Robert to change their minds, wanting to give the passionate Mealys a chance. The two sharks invested $75,000 each for 25% of their business, and soon after the episode aired in October of 2012, Back Nine dips were sold in various supermarkets, including Costco. However, only a year later, most of the dips they had out for sale were recalled due to an off-label usage of anchovies, a setback Back Nine dips unfortunately did not survive. In Season 5 of Shark Tank, Charles Yim introduced his breathometer and all 5 sharks decided to go in on the deal. Mark Cuban, Kevin O'Leary, Robert Herjavec, Damon John, and Lori Greiner gave him a total of $1 million for 30% of the company that produced a portable device that claimed to measure someone's blood alcohol content using their smartphones. Within the first 2 years, the company became so successful that it made $30 million in sales, but in 2017, the Federal Trade Commission charged Breathometer with fraud for not correctly representing the accuracy of their products because the app proved unreliable. They eventually settled the claim, but Breathometer had to offer full refunds to consumers who previously requested them, and the sharks were surely not amused. In Season 2 of Shark Tank, Nikki Pope from Los Angeles introduced her and her husband's idea of a company called Toy Guru to the sharks. She called it the Netflix for toys, as it is an online toy rental service that allows parents to rent toys for their children for each month. Kevin O'Leary and Mark Cuban both agreed that it was a great concept since children often get tired of their toys after a short period of time, and the two sharks decided to invest $200,000. However, within fewer than 6 weeks, things turned belly up. The owners argued with each other and the investors, and only a year later Toy Guru filed for bankruptcy and finally closed in 2016. Both O'Leary and Cuban called this investment their biggest mistake ever. Dan Mackey entered the Shark Tank in the show's first season to introduce his invention called Chill Soda, a truly healthy line of soda. He told the sharks how the state of California had banned several sodas from school campuses and brought in alternative drinks that were not much healthier, as they often contained even more sugar and calories than the sodas they had previously been banned. Because of that, Mackey had decided to take action and invented a healthier alternative. He stated that his Chill Soda was nutritious, light in calories, had no antioxidants, contained vitamins, and still tasted just like regular soda. He was asking the sharks for $50,000 in exchange for 10% stake in his company, and eventually made a deal with Barbara, who offered him $50,000 in exchange for a 20% stake in his company. Although Dan Mackey made a deal with one of the sharks, it seems like the Chill Soda never got off the ground. Although you can find a professionally designed Chill Soda website with a Buy Chill button, the website does not actually sell any cans of the healthy soda yet, and considering it has been 8.5 years since Mackey appeared on Shark Tank, it looks like Barbara may have just lost her money in this deal. The biggest embarrassment of the show was probably the outcome of the idea that James McDonald and Cole Legger pitched in 2013. It was the height of the cakeball hype, and so Mark Cuban decided to give them $250,000 in exchange for 25% of their cakeball company Sweet Balls. However, the business partners did not have the best of relationships and got into a lawsuit shortly after the episode aired. McDonald ended up suing Egger for breach of contract, though Egger got control of the company's domain name and changed it from sweetballs.net to cakeballs.com. Fast forward a few years to 2017, and you can now order the product on sweetballs.com, owned by James McDonald. In Season 3, Shelly Ayler pitched her idea of a towel poncho to the Sharks. The mother of two came up with it one day at a swimming pool when she tried to help both of her sons change at the same time and then got her Shono towels patented. She started selling her poncho towels to water parks around the world and secured deals with Six Flags Magic Mountain as well as Legoland in California. The Shono towels with the water parks' names on them turned them into perfect souvenirs as well as great advertising for the parks. To take her business a step further, Ayler decided to ask the Sharks for help and made a $50,000 deal with Lori Greiner. However, after the show, their partnership turned sour, and 6 years later the business eventually came to an end. After Alashe Nelson was turned away at the door of a club, feeling embarrassed in front of a girl that was with him, he started working on a plan so that no one, especially not he himself, would ever have to experience a social snub like this again. In 2010, this idea had grown to be Easy VIP, a booking service for clubs that would guarantee a table, no questions asked. Asking for $150,000 for 15% of his company, he told the Sharks that with his website, which he described as the Expedia, or open table of clubs, anyone could easily book a VIP table, admission tickets, or bottle service in advance. After long negotiations, Nelson eventually made a deal with Mark Cuban and Damon John, who gave him $150,000 for 30% of his company. The celebrity investors even got Cuban-American rapper Pitbull to agree to be the face of the company, but Easy VIP still turned out to be a failure. The company's official website is down, and both Facebook and Twitter accounts have not been updated since December 2014, so it seems like Mark's and Damon's investment was just money down the drain. A deal that turned out to be a big regret for Barbara Corcoran and Kevin Harrington was closed during the first season of Shark Tank. The two invested $180,000 in a push-up machine that didn't sell quite as well as they had hoped. The idea was introduced by 65-year-old Jack Behringer, also known as Cactus Jack from Iowa. His body jack is supposed to make working out and doing push-ups a lot easier, while still having the same slimming results. After the deal was closed, Cactus Jack kept his promise and lost 30 pounds to prove that his product works. Yet the company failed and the product was discontinued in 2012 for unknown reasons. This deal lost Corcoran $50,000 and was apparently such a big failure that the recap was even taken down from ABC's website. In Season 1 of Shark Tank, Gayla Bentley purchased her idea of a fashion line for women over size 12 to the Sharks and ended up making a deal with Damon John and Barbara Corcoran for $250,000 for 50% stake in her company, Gayla Bentley Fashion. After the show, the three worked out the details of the investment and Bentley eventually received the money. However, the Sharks then never saw or heard from her again, and the company closed within a month or two, and although the website is still online, it hasn't been touched since 2010. Both John and Corcoran have called this their worst investment ever, and it is surely one of the worst failed deals and biggest rip-offs in the show's history. 15-year-old Maddie Bradshaw, along with her younger sister Margaret, as well as their mother Diane, pitched the idea of M3 Girls Design to the Sharks, asking for $300,000 in exchange for 15% of the company. The three women explained that M3 Girl Designs produces jewelry products that actually incorporate bottle caps, such as necklaces, hair ribbons, and many other products that after 5 years in production they were supplying around 1,000 stores in total and had made about $6 million in sales since they started the company. But in order to take the business to the next step and start distributing their products globally, they needed help from the Sharks. The Bradshaws eventually struck a deal with Mark Cuban, Lori Greiner, and Robert Herjavec, who invested $300,000 in exchange for 30% of M3 Girl Designs, and the business initially really took off after they appeared on the show. However, the company started having problems when they began filing lawsuits against various other companies who allegedly were infringing upon their trademark. Since the Bradshaws did not own a trademark or patent though, it turned out that all these claims were false, and during a trial against Blue Brownies, it all went further downhill. After Maddie claimed that she had invented the bottle cap jewelry designs, she gave a testimony in the courtroom that was quite obviously staged. It was then declared that the Bradshaws had been lying throughout the trial, and the ruling ended up being in favor of Blue Brownies. It has since become very quiet around M3 Gold Design, with their official website down and no updates on their Twitter account for 4 years, so it looks like this became yet another failed investment for the Sharks, and it surely will not be the last one. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you're new. Also, don't forget to turn that post notification bell on so you never miss our uploads. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.